There we are.
YouTube.
Live streamed.
I always hate to interrupt her.
Yes, very rude.
All right. I will call the meeting to order. Roll call, please.
Mayor Canos,
Here.
Mr. Ambelang,
Here.
Ms. Greenfield,
Here.
Ms. McCready. She's here.
She's here.
Mr. McQueen.
Here.
Mr. Ribeiro,
Here.
Ms. Zamara,
Here.
Notice of this meeting was provided to the Barnesville News, Courier News, and the Star Ledger, filed with the municipal clerk and posted on the municipal bulletin board on December 27th, 2021. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. All right, I'm just going to do this. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, and now we have two openings on our Board of Adjustment for the third and fourth alternate. And we have a number of interested people, which is terrific. Thank you so much for coming forward and offering your time and service. And what we had asked the people who were interested to just come tonight, and just so because this is a council appointment, so that the council has the opportunity just to hear a little bit about who you are and why you're interested in being on the Board of Adjustment. So I do see Marcus.
Yes, I'm
So
here.
I can see
Hello.
you. So why don't you go first?
Okay. Well, first of all, thank you very much for the invite, Mary Jane. Very nice to meet everybody virtually. It's obviously an easier way to get around. So I guess the first, I mean, you answered why would I be interested in joining the Board of Adjustments? Well, first of all, I always try to make a positive impact to the communities I am naturally a part of. So I moved here with my family 2017 into Bernardsville. I'm coming originally from New York, and I just wanted to be a part of what's going on in the town, what's going on in the neighborhoods, and use my ability or my background to add value to whatever comes along.
So, I'm sorry, what was your first name again? I apologize.
My name is Marcus.
Hi, Marcus. This is Chad. It's nice to meet you. So Marcus, so what, talk to us just a little bit about your background, literally 15 seconds, and why the Board of Adjustment particularly appealed to you.
My background is in real estate, finance, investment, urban economics, and planning. And I've been working throughout basically in the last 25 years on larger urban projects, as well as, building blocks, as well as individual buildings, all the way up to like $30 billion projects. And I think that with this gathered knowledge, I could probably add some value to the Board of Adjustments that mainly tackles, zoning variances and other things that have obviously then a bigger urban impact to the neighborhoods and potentially downtown Bernardsville.
Great. And Marcus, I'm assuming you're aware of the revitalization project that we have ongoing. Do you have any opinions of the project or thoughts at this point?
You mean the redevelopment, Kimberly Lane, the intersection?
That's correct. Yes.
Yeah. So I've seen a few of these plans and guidelines or documents that are created, and I'm only aware of the latest plan from Advanced Realty. That was, I think, from 2020, but overall, I think Bernardsville has a unique opportunity right now to really create a new modern hub for smaller towns in downtown Bernardsville. And this is for a very simple reason, because all the basic elements that you need in order to create this cohesiveness or a little hub are already existent. They just need to be revitalized and redeveloped. Primarily, you have an actual downtown that many other towns don't have that. Look at Basking Ridge, look at Mendham, look at Chester, Fort Hills, etc. All those towns don't have downtown. They have scattered buildings. So that means you have certain density already in place, and you have proximity and accessibility. One more, the other one less, but the basics are there. And with new plans and new developments, I think this could all be nicely revitalized, especially since you also have the existing urban corridor already, all the way to the revitalized strip mall area and to the other side, up to what's there, the hair salon, Bellissima Hair Salon, etc. And you have actually two main institutions or entities in there as well, which is the public transportation train station and the other area, where the library is and the planning department. So that all kind of could really work very well together, since everything is already there. It just needs to, be revitalized.
Great, thank you.
Great, thank you. I see Kathy Sika. You are.
Yeah, I apologize. I couldn't get sound on my other computer on my laptop, so I went to the big one.
Okay. So, I weren't sure if you heard, just kind of tell us a little bit about yourself, why you're interested in being on the Board of Adjustment, how long you've been here, that kind of whatever.
Sure. Thank you for that. Thank you, Mary Jane, for that. So we moved to Bernardsville, and it was mainly a decision when our children were pretty young in 2008, and it was for the schools. So I was born and raised in Morristown. We lived there prior to coming here. When the children reached a certain age, we really wanted to look for a smaller town feel, and it was all about the schools and the community. So we searched, we looked everywhere, Madison, Chatham, and we chose Bernardsville, small town feel. We loved the high school, loved the community, loved everything about it. It's been a fantastic experience. Our kids, we have two, they have graduated, but we're here, and my daughter's now going to RVCC for now, and we'll end up going somewhere else. I saw what happened with Morristown, being a longtime resident there. I saw the revitalization that has taken place. I'm sure everybody's very familiar with what happened there. We go back, the Sika family, years there, and that was in the works for 25 years or more. It's come out beautiful. I think they've done a great job. I'd like to see that happen here. Obviously, being a resident, member of the church, our kids, I know, had what I saw of the plans, had that been here, even when our kids were in high school, it would have been amazing. There would have been that much more for them to enjoy in the town. Love the town, and I think we can do more with it. So that's my interest. Obviously, being a property owner here. We moved in 2008 here. We're on Dana Place, right around the corner from the schools, and it's a great spot. Love it.
Yeah, walkable.
It was walkable to everything.
Yeah.
The church, the schools, the town. It was great. It's been a great experience. They say it all the time. They loved it.
And can you just talk a little bit about your personal professional background and what you bring to the board? And you talked a little bit about the revitalization. So same question. I don't know if you heard the previous person.
Sure.
Your thoughts about what we're currently planning.
So I do have a real estate license. I've had it active since 2006. I don't really practice. It is an active license, but I have been around the real estate industry, and I was doing that for a few years. I work at AT&T, so I'm a salesperson for AT&T. My background spans technology primarily for many years, Nortel via AT&T. And for a few years, I did take a break and I was doing some real estate. That would be really, I actually owned a business for a few years while I had my license and I was practicing. It was at the shore, and it was at a community at the shore where everybody was involved with the community. And I loved watching that. And that's the kind of, it was Ocean City. So, and I would love to see that kind of community involvement here. So I was very active on, the restaurant board there because I owned a restaurant at the time. So that would be the reason for the interest. So I hope that answers it.
It does very much. And actually to both candidates, we're very thankful that you're volunteering your time. I wish we had, because I wish we had more positions. We have one. So I don't know which, oh, we have two. That's right.
Alternate
Okay.
3 and alternate 4.
All right.
And I know we had 2 other, Danielle Loeffler and Michael Gunderson, who couldn't make it tonight, I guess. I didn't hear. Did you hear from Danielle?
I did not, but it appears that she was unable to make it tonight as well.
So
no.
council, it's up to you. I don't know if you want to wait till the next meeting so that you can also hear from them, because they were also interested.
Yeah, I think we will, because look, at the end of the day, I have 2 goals. I'm speaking personally for myself. Look, we want to find great folks to help out for the Board of Adjustments, but also I want to make sure that we engage as many people that are willing to volunteer as possible, because we have lots of opportunities to help and we need lots of help. So if it's okay with everyone, I'd like to take that opportunity to speak to them as well. If there's no urgent need here to get this done tonight.
No, I don't believe there is. And I think, even though we have 4 candidates and 2 positions, we can always find another position for you in town.
That's what I mean.
Yeah, Marcus is already has volunteered for the Downtown Redevelopment Committee. So
Great.
he's joining us tomorrow night. And, there's other committees. I know
Sure.
Historic Preservation has been looking for people. There's quite a few that can use help. So if this one doesn't work out, we'll find you a good spot.
Yeah, I would love to be involved. Yeah, that's, especially with kids now away at college. I'd love to get involved.
Wonderful.
That's fantastic.
That's what we like to hear. Thank you so much for coming tonight. And
Thank you.
it'll be another 2 weeks where we get to meet
That's
the
fine.
other 2 candidates, and then we'll get back to you. All
That's
right.
perfect.
All right.
Happy Valentine's Day, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank
Thank you very much, everybody.
Feel free to
Bye.
stay and
Bye.
hang out if you want to watch our meetings. They're very
No, it's fine.
fascinating.
Very
And
fruitful.
we are now up to our open session. So if anyone from the public would like to speak at this time, please keep your comments to 3 minutes. Anthony will hold up a timer. Just so you can see how long you're talking. Please give your name and where you live. You can either wave or use the little hand symbol. So would anyone from the public like to be heard at this time? Not too many people here. Anthony, you see anybody? I don't see any.
No, I'm not seeing anybody.
Okay, and I will close the public session. Moving on to items of business, we do have an ordinance to introduce. Chad, would you like to do, can you? Do you have the, I know you're in the car,
I've got everything right here in front of me. I'm just sitting in the parking lot. So
because this is a finance one, so.
yeah, and if anyone needs explanation, we can explain it after I introduce. I moved to that ordinance 2022-1909, ordinance to exceed the municipal budget appropriations limit and to establish a cap bank in the calendar year 2022, be introduced by title, passed on first reading, published according to law, and that a public hearing be scheduled for a meeting beginning at 7 p.m. Monday, February 28th, 2022.
I'll second.
Okay, and this is a pretty, we do this every year. It's kind of a just in case ordinance. As we're working on the budget, it's allows us to, if we have to, use cap banking. And am I correct? Where's Tom? Right?
Yes,
Am
I haven't seen Tom
explaining
yet.
that properly? There he is.
Correct. And I can say I don't believe this budget's going to exceed the cap. I'm quite sure it won't. But what this allows us to do is take what we're allowed to exceed it by and kind of put it in reserve in case there's an emergency in future years without added cost, delay.
Okay. And this is just a voice vote. So anyone have questions on it or discussion? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
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 Any opposed? Abstentions? Okay, we're good. Diane, I guess this is Public Works, the next one. Do you want to introduce that?
Yep. I move that ordinance 2022-1910 concerning sewer connection fees and sewer user rates and allocation and amending Chapter 16 of the Borough Code entitled Sewer Regulations be introduced by title, passed on first reading, published according to law, and that a public hearing be scheduled for a meeting beginning at 7 p.m. Monday, February 28th, 2022.
I'll second.
Okay, any discussion on this one? I believe we got an explanation from John McDowell as to how this has been calculated and covering our sewer expenses. So,
And Tom, this is the higher number, correct? I know we discussed a couple of them.
You mean there's two portions of the bill. It's
Right.
that one that's a little higher. Correct.
Yes.
Correct.
Yep.
It's the flat fee portion, not the per gallon portion.
right,
Yes.
Yes.
okay. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Any opposed? Abstentions? All right, we will have a public hearing in 2 weeks on that. Moving on to resolutions, we have 2238 to 2247. Are there any questions, discussion on any of these resolutions?
Yeah, I
had
just
nothing
had-
to pull out.
I'm sorry, go ahead, Chad.
No, Jack, please.
I would just ask that resolution 2242 be supplemented to make it the form of the contract subject to my approval, because I did have some concerns about
Okay.
the form.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we.
That's 2240. That's 2242, correct? Jack?
Right.
Yes.
You want
Yes,
amended?
yeah, subject to review by the attorney.
And I'll work it out with Suburban.
Yeah.
And
I
do we
know
have to remove now 45, or is that different? This is 2245 for establishing procedure for filling vacancies on the Borough Zoning
Yeah,
Board of Adjustment.
That was
To pull
that was just sort of memorializing the process that we're going through for future years.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just, it used to not, we usually just bump people up. So the first alternate then becomes a permanent member, but it's
Yeah.
not, it hasn't been in writing anywhere. So we thought this would make it official. This is how we do it.
Got it. Okay.
Was there anything else? So, yeah, I think with Suburban, we're kind of eager to get them working on this project. So yeah, if we can just add that to it and still get it through, that would be great.
Yep, I'll contact them in the morning.
So Tom, in regards to that same item on 42, I sent through the request. My question about the light towers, and whether or not that they had the ability to be used for different purposes. Is that something we need to include in the Suburban contract, or is that something to add later?
When we sit to meet, start plotting out the details, that information will be conveyed.
So, but that does not affect the contract because it did have some scope in there.
No, I don't think so.
All right, just verifying that. Thank you.
I agree.
And
Yeah.
Tom, sorry, just one more, about 39 and the borough engineer. Tom, we spoke with the borough engineer already with
Yes. Tom
With all
spoke
of our
to him, and
concerns.
I also spoke to him, and I spoke to Van Cleef as well.
Okay.
So we've conveyed all your comments and discussion.
Okay. And okay. All right, good. I'll ask my next
And
question
we
in
also-
executive session. Thanks.
We also made it clear that this is something we're going to do regularly now.
Yeah, every 3 years we will put out an RFP.
Okay,
Great.
great. Thank you.
Okay, would someone like to move resolutions 2238 to 2247?
Yeah, I'll move resolutions 2238 through 2237 with the amendments as 47 with the
47.
amendment as proposed by Mr. Pigeon for 2242.
I'll
I'll
second.
second.
Okay, roll call, please.
Mr. Ambelang,
Yes.
Ms. Greenfield,
Yes.
Ms. McCready,
Yes.
Mr. McQueen,
Yes.
Mr. Romero,
Yes.
Ms. Zamara.
Yes.
Okay. We had a request from the Girl Scouts to do their cookie sales over in the park area by the statue. They've done that in the past. I think it's been really successful for them. They do it the same time we have the farmer's market going. Does anyone have any issues, or are we okay with approving that again?
Let the Girl Scouts sell their cookies.
Okay.
Drink a lot of Thin Mints.
Yeah, I need some too. I forgot to order mine. And my daughter is a Girl Scout.
Oh, gee.
Dad, mommy.
Terrible.
Ah. They had a new flavor this year too that looked really good. I forget what it was, but there was a new one. Okay, it's mayor's update. Got a bunch of stuff. Our Assemblywoman Ora Dunn had a veterans outreach for the mayor's, the New Jersey Department of Military and Veteran Affairs did a presentation on a program they have. They have a We Value Our Veterans Community Award. It's kind of a point system, and they were encouraging every community to try and apply for that. So I will be reaching out to the veterans to see how we can kind of coordinate that, as there were some things that we can do and some things we can't. So I'll be working on that. I attended a Sustainable Jersey program on EV transitioning. What was interesting is Jersey City got a $2 million grant from the DEP to replace 5 garbage trucks that were municipal trucks. And they also have solar on their public works facility. So there's a lot going on with EV. The Maplewood bought a Ford police car on state contract for $60,000, and they said they got 20 hours without having to recharge. So the basic message was it's important to first have the infrastructure before you start buying vehicles. We had a cultural arts committee meeting, and we're in the process of lining up artists with the nominated Faces of Bernardsville. So you'll be hearing more about that. On the 29th, we had the Downtown Barnesville Strategic Planning Session, which was 3 hours kind of laying out next year's programs, which Olivia gave you a good overview last week. Tom and I met with the county's new shared service coordinator, Pablo Orozco, and Tom is going to be working with him on some training ideas where we can share with other towns and how we can put together a group for trainings. So he's got a lot of good ideas. I think it's great that the county has put somebody in charge of shared services. I attended a transit-friendly planning webinar, and they have just issued a new guide on transit-friendly planning, which I think I sent to you, Tom, as well. Lot of good information. I think what was helpful for me is we broke into small groups, and they had a lot of people there from New Jersey Transit, DOT, I forget what the other group was, transit or TOD, transit oriented something. And I got to ask about our Transit Village application. And it was interesting because right after I asked, when are we going to know if we get that? I got an email saying, you'll know by the end of this month. So hopefully that's in the works and we'll get that. Plus, there was also somebody there from the state historic, whatever they are, organization. And I asked about information on how we would talk about what we can do with the train station as a historic building. So I got some contact information on that too. So that was useful. I was able to, I think I've talked to you about Ashwin Barama and his Windbush. And I've connected him with the Somerset Hills Mountaineers because we thought a better place for that than the library would be the Polo Grounds. So they were thrilled to work with him. And so they're on their way. I attended the event wrap up for Wreaths Across America. They actually placed 2.4 million wreaths at 3,137 locations. with over 2 million volunteers. So it was, I think, great that Bernardsville got to participate this year. And we're going to hopefully expand next year.
Amazing.
Yeah, isn't that? I mean, it's just, they're so well organized. It's an incredible organization. I attended a fair housing webinar, which went over and Jack, boy, this is the most confusing thing ever. I don't know how you figure this out. The qualified allocation plan, or how they calculate your tax credits for affordable housing. But the point of the meeting was to solicit ways that they can improve how they do that formula. And what was really great was to see Phil Abrahamson there from Topology, who deals with this all the time and gave them a lot of good suggestions. Tom and I think who else was there? It was Tom, me, Bob Markowick. We met with the and Doug, the Somerset County Open Space Committee. They're reviewing our application for the grant for the pickleball courts. Bob did a fabulous job, I think, explaining why we want to do this and how important it is and how it's all going to go together. And they seemed, I thought, very supportive. It's nice that one of our residents, Carrie Hazelton, is on that committee, but they seem very positive. So we'll hear about that grant soon. What else did we have? The virtual Downtown New Jersey conference, Downtown Barnesville board meeting. They have applied for a transformational grant that hopefully will give them enough money for a year's worth of operations. So we'll see how that goes. We had the county call, the monthly county call. They have money available. If you know anyone that needs rental assistance, there is the ERAP program, Emergency Rental Assistance, and also IRMA, which is Emergency Rescue Mortgage Assistance. COVID cases are on a steady decline. Somerset County, 83% have gotten both vaccinations, which I think is probably the highest in the state. 50% have received boosters. The county has 1,000 seedling trees to give away for Earth Day. I don't know if we have any Earth Day celebrations or activities going on, but if we do, we can get seedlings. And on the February 22nd commissioners meeting, they're going to have a presentation by the Community Police Alliance pilot program that Bridgewater is doing, which is they have a social worker who, in the case of repeated calls for domestic violence or drug and alcohol issues, the social worker goes with the police officer. So I'm curious to hear how that's working for them. Because what the county is looking to do is try and roll that out to all the police departments. And the senior centers, they're going to reopen the first week of March. They have been closed for 2 years now, I think. This past Saturday, I did the ribbon cutting at Olcott Squared, which is a new store in what was the Carlisle per se store. Really nice merchandise, was really well attended. So I wish her a lot of success with that new business. I send information to the high school guidance department. There is a scholarship that the League of Municipalities offers for high school juniors and seniors that live in Bernardsville. The applications are due March 11th. So I'm hoping we get some students to apply for that. What I'm going to just wanted to ask if you're okay with this. I can't imagine you wouldn't be, but there's the league has a resolution that they're asking us to do to pass S330 to restore the energy tax receipts. If you're familiar with this, years ago, there was a tax added to gas and electric utilities that we used to collect, the municipalities collected to use for local purposes. And then the state decided they would collect it for us and then give it back to us. And then they stopped giving it back to us to cover state budget shortfalls. So there is a bill proposed to say we want that money back. So I will have that resolution on the next agenda. It would
This
be
came up at
great.
our training we just did, myself, Diane, and Jay.
Oh,
our
that's
council
right. You just
training.
did that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine with me too, Mary Jane. So let's put that on there.
Beautiful.
Yeah, it'd be a huge boon.
I hope it passes. That's the question. Will the state give it up? The other thing I wanted to talk about is many years ago, I had started a program called the Outstanding Community Volunteers. And if you're in Borough Hall, there's a big plaque on the wall with people's names by years. And we used to have an annual, we would ask for nominations, and then we had a committee that would review them, and we would do 3 or 4 people a year, and we would have a dinner and give them a plaque. And it was just really nice to be recognizing volunteers. I started that before I was on the council. I kept it going when I was on the council, and when I was off the council, the council didn't keep it going. A few people have asked about, gee, how come we're not recognizing our volunteers? So if you're agreeable, I would like to try and get that program up and running again. Maybe in coordination with the league's, what is it, local government week in April. And
I think it's a great idea.
We already have a few people who I'm thinking of would be worthy nominations. So
Wonderful. Love it.
Yes.
All right. Good. That's all I had. That was plenty. Tom, what do you have?
Just a few things. We've been quietly updating and transitioning our website to a new format. So it's been active for about a week and a half. We haven't really publicized it much, so we could work out the kinks. I think we got most of it. So far, good feedback, and I just want to thank council for updating all their information, and we're going to continue to work on it. The good news about this website is that it saves us about $10,000 a year, and it empowers the department heads to manage their content more proactively rather than working through an intermediary. So basically, we just scraped the old page, reformatted a lot of things, tried to make them better, to train the department heads on how to update their own sections. And we also challenged all the department heads to look at towns our size that have won some awards statewide and nationally to see how we can become best in class in this respect. And I think we're well on our way. The other thing is today I had the pleasure of meeting my colleagues from the county. We had the first Somerset County municipal managers meeting in 2 years. And from what I'm told, we all look about 10 years older, but it was great. We had a good conversation about restarting the marketplace, where we list the equipment and the cost to share that equipment. We had a good assessment of what worked last time this was tried and what can be done to improve it. We discussed establishing some regional truck washing areas, which is a new DEP requirement that's coming down the pike. So instead of all of us making our own investments, maybe we can share in that. And then we also talked about making sure we're all aware of any vacancies in each other's municipalities, so we can help some of our young professionals move forward in their careers. But along those lines, I just want to remind the community and let council know we are actively recruiting for a zoning officer, and we will shortly be posting for an additional public works laborer. So get that word out for us. That'd be great. We'll do that on our end. And then we continue to work with the finance team and the personnel team and public works team on various aspects of the budget, and it's slowly coming together, and we're chipping away at it. And I thank council for their input on the priorities project. We're still input's still coming in, and we're consolidating all that information. And I think it's a really great project. So that's all I have. We do have a couple personnel matters related to the PD to discuss with you in executive session, and most will be coming out for a vote after that.
Thank you, Tom.
Hey, Tom,
I just want, oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
just really quick, I just want to thank and congratulate Chris D'Amato, yourself, and the team that worked on the website. I think it looks excellent. And, I think we all know that we really want to upgrade the communications. That should go a long way. And it's also great to see the cost savings associated with it. So just want to send my kudos.
Thank you.
Thanks for that, Al. I just wanted to ask the three of you went for training, the league training this past Saturday. How was it? Or you want to share anything from that?
Yeah, it was good. It's long.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there's a lot of information.
A
yeah.
lot of information about how to not get in trouble, which I think is all of our goals.
Yeah,
Very positive is all of our goals.
good.
Yeah, and there were some good sessions on the budget, areas like that I think will be really helpful. And just struck, there was, I don't know, what do you guys think? 125, 150 new
Wow.
council members there, maybe more. It was a pretty large session. So also great to see the amount of people that are, newly elected and getting involved across the state.
Yeah, great. Good. And yeah, thanks for doing that. I know it's a big commitment to sit there for that long, and especially to drive that far.
That was good. We carpooled. It was fun.
Oh,
We
yeah,
had a
thanks,
good
Jay.
time.
Nice.
Good. Do we have any, we don't have any correspondence, I think, at this point. Any unfinished business?
The only unfinished business that I have is, so just a reminder to council, if you haven't already, please do the prioritization by Thursday, so we can get that moving forward or continue forward.
Yeah, good idea. Thanks.
Sorry, which prioritization?
The prioritization of various tasks. So the email that Tom sent out, continuing the project we've been working on since the middle of January.
Okay, I definitely need to look at that. Sorry.
I'll
Thanks
resend
for
it.
calling it out.
Yeah, it was a spreadsheet Tom sent with this really cool graphic that he did.
Sorry, Tom.
Impressive.
That's all right. If it's
Sorry.
council, if it takes a little bit of time. So if you want to do it in your car and I can call you and you can walk me through the answers, I'd be happy to help you make best use of your time.
Yeah.
I might take you up on that, Tom.
But don't do what I did. I did them backwards. I went 1 to 10, and 10 to 1, and had to do it all over again. So, do we have any new business?
No, Mayor.
All right. Then we will be going into executive session, but we will reopen and take action when we come back. So you're welcome to wait in the waiting room if for the public. I don't know how long we'll be, but you can go get a glass of wine and come back. All right. Do I have a motion for executive session?
I'll make the
I'll
motion.
move and I'll second.
Anthony, please keep the chief in.
Okay.
Yeah. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Bye.
All right. Thank you, those that are here, for coming, and we will be back.